Have you ever felt calm in 1 minute in a relationship and completely panicked in the next, just because someone took a little bit longer to respond? You replay conversations, you wonder if you say the right thing, and you feel deeply connected, but you also are constantly afraid that it could all disappear in a second. If this sounds familiar, this video may explain why. Welcome to Social Psychology Now, where social context meets individual differences. I'm Dr. Alex J. Holte, and today we're talking about preoccupied attachment, also known as anxious-ambivalent attachment, a pattern that quietly shapes how people experience love, closeness, and rejection. And here is the key thing up front. This isn't about being needy. It's about how your nervous system learns to protect connection. So that's the key overwhelming theme of today's episode. Preoccupied attachment is characterized by a strong desire for closeness combined with this persistent fear of abandonment. So people with this attachment style often crave emotional intimacy, feel unsure about their partner's feelings, become hyper-attuned to signs of rejection, as well as struggle to self-soothe when closeness feels threatened. The word preoccupied here is important because people get stuck on the relationship. Are they pulling away? Did I do something wrong? Do they still care? Preoccupied attachment typically develops in early caregiving environments that were inconsistent. Care was sometimes warm and receptive, and sometimes unavailable, distracted, or emotionally unpredictable. As a result, the child learns that connection isn't guaranteed, so I need to stay alert. So this can explain why individuals with an anxious, ambivalent, or preoccupied attachment style tend to be very, I guess you could say, clingy, in the sense of they tend to really crave closeness with their partners, not just emotional closeness, but physical closeness with their partners. The strange situation research study by Dr. Mary Ainsworth, children with this form of attachment, they would physically cling to their caregivers as they leave the room. And that is a very smart strategy in the sense that if you are physically connected to that person by holding on to them, they can't leave you. Now here is the paradox. People with preoccupied attachment feel very deeply. They are very passionate individuals. However, they often feel chronically unsure of if that love is reciprocated. So closeness soothes anxiety and distance intensifies it. One of the things you might see with someone with a preoccupied attachment is they might buy their partner a gift, simply knowing that the social norms of reciprocity will argue that they will have to give them a gift in return. By receiving a gift in return, that can make you feel, that your partner doesn't really care for you. And so they will often do things of that nature as a sign to show that their partner truly does care for them. So now we're going to talk about the nervous system side of preoccupied attachment. From a psychological perspective, this attachment style is associated with a hyperactivated attachment system. This means that threats to connection feel urgent, emotional regulation becomes harder during conflict, and the body responds if abandonment is imminent, even when it is not. So reactions that might seem to be too much from the outside feel completely necessary on the inside. And this isn't drama, it's physiology. Let's clear up a few myths. Myth number 1, they're just insecure. No, they're highly attuned to relational cues. They want too much. They want consistency and emotional safety. They're bad partners. In reality, they're often deeply loyal, emotionally available, and super invested. The issue isn't intensity, it's how the intensity gets managed. Can preoccupied attachment become secure? Yes, attachment styles are not permanent traits. Research shows that security can increase through emotionally consistent relationships. So in other words, by having a partner who is securely attached, they can change the way in which they view relationships. They can view themselves as being lovable. They can view themselves as being worthy of being helped. And by doing that, that can change their perceptions of themselves and others, and in turn cause them to become securely attached. As well as by learning self-soothing skills, becoming aware of attachment triggers, reframing perceived rejection, and practicing direct needs-based communication. Security isn't about needing less, it's about needing without panic. If you recognize yourself in this style, start here. Notice when your attachment system is activated. Pause before seeking reassurance. Ask, is this fear coming from the present or the past? Practice expressing needs without self-blame. And remember, wanting closeness doesn't make you weak. It means connection matters to you. As I've mentioned earlier, this is my favorite form of attachment to study. I find it to be very interesting. I've done quite a lot of research on it, attachment anxiety, which is basically the dimensional approach to studying preoccupied attachment. So people with a preoccupied or anxious-ambivalent attachment, they score very high in attachment anxiety. And I've used that variable in almost all of my research studies. I find it very interesting, and it's something that I can be continuing to research, and something that I will be bringing up some previously studied research that looked at attachment anxiety as it relates to technology use as well as fear of missing out. So if you're interested in that, I recommend subscribing now. I mean, do it right now. Use your mouse, click on that subscribe button. Let's all do it together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There we go. Now you are locked in, and you will get notifications when I post that video talking about my research with attachment anxiety. If you enjoyed today's content, I recommend you like the video. It helps the channel out quite a bit. Subscribe to Social Psychology now if you haven't done already, and then comment below what part of preoccupied attachment do you think would be the most difficult to live with. If you have any questions, feel free to post a comment down below or send me a message. I thank you again for watching today's video. As always, I'm Dr. Alex J. Holte, and I'll see you next time on Social Psychology Now.